They do a biopsy and they're very emotional. They say this is good. It's one of these very slow-growing 5% of pancreatic cancers that can actually be cured. But Steve Jobs doesn't get operated on right away. He tries to treat it with diet. He goes to spiritualists. He goes to various ways of doing it macrobiotically, and he doesn't get an operation.
Why doesn't he get it operated on immediately?
You know, I've asked him that. He said, I didn't want my body to be open. And soon everybody is telling him, quit trying to treat it with all these roots and vegetables and things. Just get operated on. But he does it 9 months later.
Too late.
Well, one assumes it's too late because by the time they operate on him, they notice that it has spread to the tissues around the pancreas.
How could such a smart man do such a stupid thing?
Yeah, I think that he kind of felt that if you ignore something, if you don't want something to exist, you can have magical thinking. And it had worked for him in the past. He regretted, you know, some of the decisions he made. And certainly, I think he felt he should have been operated on sooner.
In 2008, he unveiled the iPhone 3, but that wasn't the main story.
All of a sudden, people are gasping because he's lost so much weight. He looks so frail. And suddenly people are realizing that he's very sick again. He denies it publicly. He puts out things that there's a hormone imbalance, which has a tiny kernel of truth to it because his liver was secreting the wrong hormones. But it wasn't just a hormonal imbalance, it's because the cancer had gone to his liver. And he's trying to deny it to himself and to the public. And this is a problem, of course.
It's a legal problem.
Well, it's a publicly traded company, and you have a great tension between two principles. One of which is you can't withhold material information from shareholders. The other is there's a certain privacy rights of the CEO.
What were those last 2.5 years of his life like?
He talked a lot to me about what happened when he got sick and how it focused him. He said he no longer wanted to go out, no longer wanted to travel the world. He would focus on the products. He knew the couple of things he wanted to do, which was the iPhone and then the iPad. He had a few other visions. I think he would have loved to have conquered television. He would love to make an easy-to-use television set. So he had those things. But he started focusing on his family again as well. And it was a painful, brutal struggle. And he would talk often to me about the pain.
I saw my life as an arc, and that it would end. And compared to that, nothing mattered. You know, I mean, you're born alone, you're going to die alone, and does anything else really matter? I mean, what exactly is it that you have to lose, Steve? You know, there's nothing.
He asked me at one point, he said, there could be things in this book I don't like, right? And I kind of smiled and said, yep, you know, there'll be probably things you don't like. He said, that's fine, that's fine. I won't read it when it comes out. I'll read it 6 months or a year from now.
Did you have any discussions with him that day or at any other time about an afterlife?
I remember sitting in his backyard in his garden one day, and he started talking about God. He said, sometimes I believe in God, sometimes I don't. I think it's 50-50 maybe. But ever since I've had cancer, I've been thinking about it more, and I find myself believing a bit more. Maybe it's because I want to believe in an afterlife, that when you die, it doesn't just all disappear. The wisdom you've accumulated, somehow it lives on. Then he paused for a second, and he said, yeah, but sometimes I think it's just like an on-off switch. Click, and you're gone. He said, and paused again, he said, and that's why I don't like putting on-off switches on Apple devices.